Our speaker this morning is Sienna Licata. Sienna is a 3-year boarding student from Sinking Springs, PA. She's a member of Ellis Theater Guild, a writing fellow, and the proud roommate of Winnetka Magpie. Sienna?
What do I want to tell everybody? I had a solid answer to that last year at this time, and I was thinking about what to submit as my chapel talk proposal. I almost didn't have a talk in all actuality, and now I stand here in front of this community on April Fool's Day. The irony isn't lost on me, so I guess I can add trying to figure out a witty joke to make about that to the list of things I should put in this. Anyways, those of you who do know me know I can talk on for a long while, so I'll try to be brief. I'm afraid of the dark. What do I mean by that? Obviously, I mean that I'm afraid of the boogeyman. April Fools, I'm just kidding. In all seriousness, I'm not afraid of the dark because of what's in it. And that's because I'm not really that scared of the unknown, and neither are you. Every day is an unknown. We all came here into a place full of them, and we're doing all right. And let's be honest. You know exactly what's in the dark of your room when your roommate is out for the weekend, even if you can't see it. You know the exact positions, the exact knickknacks on the exact shelves in your bedroom at home, too. You also know, hopefully, that the boogeyman is not real. There's no unknowns in those spaces except for your own thoughts. And so, the real reason I'm afraid of the dark is because I'm afraid of facing myself. You may think those things have no correlation at all. Maybe you think that's something really silly to say, but it's true. In 2020, great time for us all, I know, I lost someone dear to me. I don't mean lost as in they passed away. No, they're still out there somewhere, but they'll probably never talk to me again. And when they first left, they'd been all I had to talk to, and I was suddenly utterly alone. Music sounded dull and colors all seemed the same, and it felt like wandering. Nothing. And I couldn't even remember anymore the words we'd said. Was it my fault? Was I a terrible person? I vowed to fix it and get over it. It took me 2 years of thinking before I didn't keep a Google Doc that quite literally logged every day since they'd left. And I did move on. I went to high school, I made new friends and tried to cater to them, thinking I must have not been interesting enough the last time, entertaining enough. The truth is, my whole life I've thought along those lines. This accomplishment will make me worth it now, over and over. I don't even mean name on a billboard worth it. I don't mean Oscar-worthy worth it. I mean worth being loved, worth being interesting, worth being friends with. This will make them stay. This will make them proud. This will ensure I'm never in a dark room all alone. A year ago, I thought I had all the answers, that I was going to stand in front of you and tell you that I found myself by spending time by myself and reflecting, which is very true. I did learn a lot that way, and I do recommend finding out who you are when no one else is around to tell you. But this year, I'm beginning to learn that process is never linear. There's no set amount of thinking, there's no path to follow, no finish line, because there's no end to it. You can say you're fine however many times you want, that you fixed it all. You can even really believe it, too. But the instant that door closes and the lights turn off and suddenly it's just you sitting in a room, you instantly slip on your headphones and fill your face with distractions. Why do you think TikTok is so successful? Instagram, all of it. It's all distractions. Play the lottery, open the app, and see if it'll make you feel something. Scroll until you find something to make you laugh, something to make you cry. It's not just social media's fault. This isn't a new phenomenon by any means. Before scrolling, people watched movies. Before movies, people went to theaters. Before theaters, people read a lot of books. This has been happening since the beginning of time. So, how do we fix it? I wrote a metaphor in my book the other day that resonated with me. I write to think a lot, even if I don't realize it. It comes from a terminally ill character musing about life. I find his perspective one of the most interesting to write because it's so much different than mine. All about trying to value every day, every relationship for what it is. Living genuinely as yourself, because you never know when life will end, and the last thing you want is to have a stranger buried under the headstone with your name on it. So, the idea is like this. Your life, your soul, is like a candle. Everyone is one, wax in all different shapes, no matter how uniform they may seem from afar. Some a little more lopsided than others. But, on the outside, a candle looks like a candle, lit upon your first birthday and left to burn. No one can see the inside, not even you. With each emotion, wax drips down the stem, eating away at a finite life source no one can determine. You may get halfway through it when your candle suddenly sinks in from the inside, hollow all this time, and no one knew. Suddenly, what seemed like an endless life still ahead of you is shortened to a few quick years of trying to tie up loose ends. Some wicks aren't manufactured properly, burn too quick, blow out when the wind just happens to go in the wrong direction one day. And the reason I'm mentioning this idea with the candles is because it relates to the dark room, believe it or not. This might be sappy, but it serves my purpose. How are you supposed to ever see your own light, your own ideas, if you're constantly in a room full of other lights shining over you? And, of course, there's the counter to that question. You can't possibly live your entire life as the only light in the dark either, because it's going to suffocate you if you isolate yourself. Because what I've learned is you need balance. Get that trendy new water bottle to match your friends, but get it in a color that you like. Genuinely ask yourself if you're doing something for you or because you think it will make you seem more interesting. Your friends already love you for you, and if you spend your whole time with them trying to pretend to be someone else, they're eventually not going to recognize you anymore. When everyone leaves your room after hanging out, your roommate isn't there, have the peace of mind in the silence that you're happy with who you are. That, even if something happened tomorrow, you could look back at today and be content that you spent it the way you wanted. Don't take days for granted just because you think you have a million of them before you. Treasure your friends and treasure experiences. No one cares what you did that last time. If you had a certain brand name sweater or won this competition once, they care about spending time with you. They truly do. So, don't be scared of the dark, because you're not alone even if there's no one else there. You're with the one person that has quite literally been through everything and knows every facet of your mind, yourself. Don't take that for granted. Every once in a while, just try it. Sit in a dark room, turn the lights off, or maybe just close the blinds. Put your phone aside and just feel all the things you've been ignoring. Something you said 2 years ago, some friend you lost contact with, a family member you're arguing with, someone you know might not have much time left, a pet you miss at home, some favor someone asked you for. You might find yourself overwhelmed by it, but just pause and breathe and think again. Because there's also a funny thing that a friend said to you, or the group you ate dinner with, and the assignment that you did well on. Nothing is truly scary about the dark. You already know what's in it. And nothing's scary about who you are either, because you already know. You just got to make sure you're the person that you want to be. Thank you.